All right, Tampa Megacon, how are you guys doing this fine afternoon? If you guys already had lots of great, crazy, nerd out experiences just on this Saturday so far, who's already had like achieved their like total nerd goal so far for the weekend? Yeah? Cool, because we still have a lot more con to go and a lot more tomorrow as well. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this guy up in a moment, but before I do, just a couple things. First off, I'm Aaron Sagers, and I'm going to be the ringleader for the next hour or so, and this is going to be your time to ask a lot of questions. So I'm going to ask you, if you got a question, there's a microphone there, and there. So hop in line. Get ready with your question. Keep it to one question per person so we can get through as many as possible. If you got two questions, if you got a two-part question, ask one question, one part, hop back in line, and then you can ask another one. Also, please let's avoid any special requests or, you know, asking for selfies and everything, because it just sort of slows down the whole operation. And finally, make your friends at home a little bit jealous that they are not here at Tampa Megacon. Take pictures, spread the word, continue the conversation, and yeah, just share the love a little bit. All right, without further ado. Well, of course you know this gentleman from Ugly Betty. Of course you know him from Children's Hospital, and I know him and love him from Wet Hot American Summer. And of course you know him from The Big Bang Theory. He plays Stewart Bloom on Big Bang Theory. Please give it up for Mr. Kevin Sussman! Thanks for joining. Oh, he's coming back. Okay, all right. Second and the elements were made. Thank you. Welcome.
Oh, that running was exhausting.
It is a bit of a trek from all the way over here, there to here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Woo! People over here that can see me standing behind the thing, I want to apologize for my not knowing how does it stand. I'm not real. I'm sort of hiding, but trying to play it cool. Sorry you all had to deal with it.
and it's a little bit like you're trying to have this air of mystery when you're behind the curtain, even though people see you.
Yeah, no,
so you don't want to make eye contact with anyone because it's like, oh, then like I've ruined the illusion, you know?
There's no more mystery left in our relationship.
Yeah. Precisely. Have you ever been to Tampa, Florida before?
No, I haven't. So I'm not that familiar with it. I mean, unless this convention center is representative of the city.
Yeah, just a lot of chairs and walls and partitions.
Yeah. Wow, Tampa's amazing.
Yeah. So scenic. Yes.
This is actually kind of nice for a convention. Stained glass. So,
yeah, no, please continue. I mean, I don't work with the convention center, but I think we should all take time to appreciate every venue that we spend time in. Stained glass, the projection, the carpet, lovely carpet.
Yeah, just got back from Tampa. How was it? Oh, the carpet was amazing. Yeah. Tampa has the best carpet.
Did you see the Bucks play? No, but I saw the carpet. The carpet was pretty excellent. Well, this is a lot of inane gibber. I don't know whether it's good or bad. But I do have actually a couple opening questions. And one of the things that I find interesting about you is like, you're one of those actors that like you've been in it for a long time and worked consistently and worked on a lot of cool projects. How do you sort of view TV? How do you think it's changed through the course of your career?
Well, it's an interesting question because The Big Bang Theory is sort of old school in that it's shot in front of a live audience. It's a what they call a multicam show. There's like, it's not like The Office or something that's shot more like a movie. But I think that multicams are kind of dying out as a genre. And so I like that Chuck Lorre, the creator of Big Bang Theory, he's sort of single-handedly keeping that format alive, which is all my favorite shows when I was growing up, my favorite sitcoms were multicams, and so you know, like Cheers, and Frasier, and Everybody Loves Raymond. So I feel really lucky to be a part of that. It's sort of a history of the type of shows that I used to love and used to watch with my family growing up and stuff like that.
I mean, even down to the theme song, which like so many comedies, it's even, you can't even really apply the term sitcom so much anymore to a lot of shows.
Right.
Like, and they've lost the theme song and opening credits and everything too.
That's right, yeah. And they're all shorter.
Yeah.
Big Bang is too, now as well. I think a standard sitcom is like 22 minutes, and then plus the commercials. So it's amazing that they're able to get any story outdone in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that isn't really the stuff outside of what I've been doing has changed. So I'm appreciative of, you know, still being able to do that type of show, because it's great. It's like theater. Someone described it as theater with a net, you know, because you're doing it live, but if a joke doesn't land or something, the writers will rewrite it right there, or if you screw up your line, which I do a lot, you know, get a second chance.
Yeah.
Unlike theater.
Well, I mean, do you still feel the pressure of like the audience when you're filming in front of a live audience? The audience for that particular show, because it's not impossible, but it's difficult to get tickets, and it's the super fans, and they've been on waiting lists forever, and it's always, you know, packed, and with the die-hard fans, and they love everything. They're just excited to be there. So it's actually the best audience that you can ask for. And actually, there's always, you know, criticism on the internet, and people saying they don't like the laugh track and stuff. It's so unnatural, and it's infuriating to be doing a live show and people are complaining, oh, they're pausing for it. But it's like you go to they literally would not be able to. You'd be talking and they wouldn't be able to hear over the laughs. So it's not fake. It's not canned. What are we talking about? I think you just answered it, but just the audience, the live audience.
Oh yeah. So the live audience is great. They really help, and you know, it's just they make it a lot of fun. It's very super exciting, you know, because when we're rehearsing during the week, it's just us, and then to have the audience there, and they're now laughing at jokes that we stopped thinking were funny, like, you know, a week before.
Yeah, well, they keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Well, for your character, it's been an interesting sort of journey for you, and now being like a regular on the show. Do you think that Stewart is he more awkward now than what he began as, or how has that character sort of evolved?
Eventually I will knock everything off.
Yeah, just throw it all off, yeah.
You'll be watching like vignettes of cats pushing stuff. There'll just be one of me in there. Sorry.
Stewart.
Yeah, I definitely have. I think my character has evolved, sort of regressed, sort of the opposite of evolved in certain ways. Because when I first came on the show, I was more of like a normal guy, so that sort of, you know, played juxtaposed against these crazy nerdy people. But that was really only in season 2, and by season 3 or season 4. Basically, after I got crushed by Penny, who called out Leonard's name during sex, my character started deteriorating, and I think that now, the past couple of years, they rely on having me be more dysfunctional because the other characters, they all have actual relationships and they're in adult relationships and stuff, and so I think the writers sort of lean on my character to bring more of the sort of clueless, socially, you know. I mean, not that the other guys aren't socially awkward, but they at least are in adult relationships and stuff like that. So they still have my character that like can't get a date.
So by that metric, then all it takes is for all of their relationships to fall apart, and then you'll be back on top.
Yeah, right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, just waiting.
Yeah. Let's actually, I'm going to start over here. If there's anybody over there, no questions waiting. Okay, let's start right here then. Hi. And I quite like your Dragon Con.
Oh, thanks. Like you were just talking about the carpet. This is actually like an outfit made from different carpet. Like carpet at conventions is actually a thing. So, so my question is from my dad, who's not here but loves the show, and he wanted to know what kind of girlfriend, we were just talking about this, what kind of girlfriend would you as an actor like to see Stewart get? Like, who do you think, what kind of person would be Stewart's girlfriend?
That's a great question. Someone that, because I'm just thinking, because you said as an actor, so I'm just thinking some relationship that would push me into a really uncomfortable place, I think would be like maybe someone who's totally overbearing or, so yeah, I guess that. As an actor, I would want to be in a relationship that was very uncomfortable, you know, and maybe experimenting with same-sex, you know, relationship, something that even though I don't think that Stewart is gay, just, you know, very, very lonely. But just something that was dysfunctional in some way, I think would be the most fun.
I think that's a realistic goal on this show.
Yeah.
It can totally happen.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly would prepare
I kind of, like, at first I was thinking, oh, eventually they'll get me hooked up with someone, but now, actually, as the show gets further, I think, like, the chances of Stewart getting, like, a long-term relationship are smaller, actually, just because they can't have everybody, you know, be in a relationship, unless there were going to be someone else that one of the other guys would steal away from.
Well, and happiness, I mean, for your character, in real life, we want you to be happy, but happiness for the character is so typically boring. You know?
Like, that's so off character. Stewart, without my depression, I'd have nothing.
That's your companion, let's take one over here. Hi.
Hi there. That's so close. When you were talking about performing in front of a live audience, what's one of the most hardest moments where you've had to like try and keep a straight face in front of an audience? Like you're just sitting there, everyone's laughing, you're trying to keep a straight face. What's one of the experiences where you're like, just keep it together, don't laugh, don't stay in character?
It's probably Parsons, because Jim, who plays Sheldon, gets these long monologues, jargony monologues, and sometimes he gets them literally like an hour before they'll rewrite something, and he'll just go into one of these monologues and be looking at me, and I'm looking at him and like trying to listen, and I can tell that he's sort of, sometimes we make eye contact while he's trying to concentrate, and it screws him up, and I'm trying not to laugh seeing him like wrestle with these words that are, you know, he's
like hold it in.
Yeah. Who said that?
He said that.
That. Or if there's some kind of technical difficulty, like one time. Melissa, who plays Howard's wife, I don't remember what the gag was, but they had to have glue on the floor for some reason. She comes in, she yells at Howard about not cleaning the kitchen. She walks out, but her shoe got stuck on the glue and it came out of her shoe and completely undignified. So yeah, generally that. But actually they would never, that's actually not a good answer because they would never actually use that. So technical mishap doesn't count. I take that back, I retract that. Thank you, Senator.
These do feel, these microphones especially are sort of like testifying.
Now, at what time did you release the email and who did you send it to?
Alright, I was talking to my friend earlier about my favorite scene with Stewart on the show is when you and Raj are doing the online dating profile and they're taking pictures, and you just can't take the picture right.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, what is like your favorite scene that you've done so far that you think is the most fun?
I enjoyed, actually, I think it might have been season 2 I had where I asked Penny to go to a wedding with me. I just love working with Kaylee. She's so, I actually think she's the most underappreciated on the show. She is so rock solid. But it's just anytime I get to work with Kaylee is fun, and that scene, I liked the scene, and it was sort of the first time the show delved into my home life, you know, and I was like, talked about staying home with my cat, just gonna, you know, share a can of tuna with the cat. Yeah, it's probably, I don't even know if people would remember that. It's not that, you know, the stuff that I tend to like doesn't tend to be, you know, the stuff that everybody else mentions. I also really liked this, there was an episode where we were bowling, and I really liked that as well. It was so cool just the fact that they constructed a bowling alley in on the soundstage. We were actually bowling in front of an audience. So it's pretty cool.
Well, okay, so about that then, because, you know, it's constructed reality, but it's not often very stable, you know? So when you're in that bowling alley, were you throwing the ball, like, full force? And
yeah.
were you not afraid of, like, okay, I just knocked over a wall now?
Right,
like,
the bowling stuff was on the floor.
Right.
Like a concrete floor, and they just constructed. Yeah, no, it seemed pretty solid.
Yeah.
There was no end. Like we were throwing the bowling balls into space, you know, and hopefully not hitting anybody. Yeah, generally the main sets are pretty well constructed.
Yeah.
Every once in a while a door flings open or something falls down, but for the most part that's not really an issue.
Yeah. Cool. Hi.
Hi. What do you think about criticism that Big Bang Theory has gotten for being too stereotypically geeky? You know, you have the guy who can't talk to the girl and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I mean, I was talking to someone downstairs before, and one of the things that I like about the show is that even though all of the characters are uber nerds, they're all different, you know? They're all like, each character seems so unique and stuff that to say that they're all stereotypical nerds in a way is kind of like, well, if they're all stereotypical nerds, why are they so different? I guess you could say there are subcategories, but I mean, I don't know, I think about that. I'm not coming from a place either where I feel like the show even is that significant in people's lives that like I want to like be an activist for, you know, and fight back for, you know, like real life nerds. you know, to even put like I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's not something that I've given a lot of thought to, and I'm trying to give like a reasoned, you know, a sensitive answer, but I haven't really thought about that. I mean, I have heard that criticism before, but I don't think I can come up with a good response to that.
What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think it's true at all. I think that, you know, they all have much more depth than the stereotype. I think that we all know people exactly like Ross, exactly like Howard, exactly like Sheldon. So there's some truth to it. I do understand that some people want to get away from the whole like negative stereotype of it, but I think there's much more depth.
From my point of view, I kind of feel like Big Bang Theory, when it started, was around the time where being a nerd started becoming cool again. And just from all the people that come up to me when I'm walking around the street or whatever, from all walks of life, all different ethnicities, ages, and everything, people are like, oh, our family loves the show, where, you know, that's us, that's my husband, that's my brother. And what you realize is that, oh yeah, okay, everyone's got a little nerd inside of them. Like, that's why people can relate to that. And one other thing that I thought while you were speaking is sometimes people criticize the Sheldon character because it's sort of, they blur the lines in terms of, is this character autistic? Are they being insensitive about autism? I think that's a valid point. I know that the writers, I think, I said I know, and then I said I think, so I don't know. I think that the writers sort of consider him like somewhere on the scale, but yeah, I don't think. I don't know if you ask them, you know, is Sheldon supposed to be autistic? I think the answer would be no.
Okay, next question.
Do you think your character and Raj would have a close relationship again?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if there's an episode recently where he and I both sneak into a hot tub.
Oh, okay.
Which was horrifying for me. So I'm not a water person, and so I had to be submerged underwater and pop up. I was very, very frightened to come into work that day, because you won't find me in a pool or anything. But to answer your question, I think so. I mean, I don't want to give away, I don't know that much, and the little that I do know, I don't think I'm supposed to give away, so, but yeah, I think that you'll see more bonding between me and Raj.
As terrifying as that is, not being a water person and having to go into work and do that, how many takes did it take you to do it? All the hot tub stuff, that actually was pre-taped because it was so technical. Yeah.
That took probably half a day. I was very prune-like.
Yeah. That's a lot of water. Did it conquer your phobia, or just?
No, it just sort of created a new phobia. Add to the list of beach and pools, hot tubs. Yeah, because I had to, it actually, every time I'm ever shooting anything that has some kind of technical aspect to it, like, you know, anything that has like a visual gag, like, oh, you have to like come in through the window and then get on the bike, or you know, okay, so you're on the script, the thing that is one line winds up always creating, it's like computers, you know, it's like no matter what computer you get, the newest thing, whatever, there's always like, for some reason, everything is always harder and more, there's always technical problems that you don't expect. With the hot tub, I kept floating, like I couldn't keep myself underwater, like you know, I was like, okay, we'll do the thing. You come in, you hold your breath, you go in the water, and I kept like popping up. I couldn't hide myself, so they had to put in these hooks on the bottom, and I would hold myself underwater, and I couldn't hear anything, so the cue was basically just wait till Kunal comes and kicks me in the ribs. So I'm like under there, and the jets are hitting me in the face, and I just like, it was horrible. And also, like, they had to light the hot tub, so like all the gaffers and the electricians are taking their equipment, and there's dirty, nasty cords in there, and since it's all lit, you see all the particulate floating around. I just like, you know, add hot tubs to things that I have no desire to do.
I think you just added hot tubs to my list of things I have no desire to do.
Hi there. My question is, well, I'm in theater in my high school, and my director in our show asked us to switch roles for the last 10 minutes of rehearsal, and it was so much fun. So my question is, if you could switch roles with any character for one episode, what would it be?
Sheldon. Yeah, dude.
Early Howard.
Yeah.
Howard, pre-marriage Howard. I think. The real womanizing, you know, nerd jerk.
Oh.
Thank you.
Are you the kind of actor that really, do you just kind of, you learn your lines and you know, okay, this is the character and I'm just going to go to work, or are you someone that really spends time trying to get in the head of a character?
You wouldn't know it to see my performances, but I do try, you know, I tend to overwork things. Yeah, I think a lot about it on this show or whatever I'm doing something. Yeah, I try. And actually, because I'm so like Stewart in some ways, it actually makes it harder because I wind up having blind spots, you know, like, really? Oh, wait, I also dropped my moisturizer. It's 4 things for whoever's keeping count. You all entered the raffle, right?
Yes.
To see how many things I would drop off the...
You too could be a winner.
Whoever guessed 117 items wins.
Off by 1.
Wait, did I answer the...
Yeah, well, that was my question, but yeah, you said that because, I'm going to press you on it though, because you said in some ways you are so like Stewart, which makes it more difficult.
Right, yeah, because when I'm doing other roles, I often will think like, oh, well, that's my relationship to that character. It's like my brother and my dad, or it's like me when I was in this weird situation, or like the acting student probably knows, you know, the magic as if, you know, it's as if I were in this situation. But for the comic book store, I used to work in a comic book store. I mean, so when I'm doing stuff in the background on Big Bang Theory, it's the same exact stuff that I used to do when I worked at a comic book store. Which is like both good and bad. It's good because I don't have to think. I can just fold shirts, or, you know, take inventory, or I do exactly what I used to do. But in other ways, I'm like, it's hard to know what to do because because I relate so much to it that I don't even know how to articulate this. I don't know what to bring to it because it's almost like invisible. I don't know why I'm looking at you like you asked that question.
He gave me that question to ask, actually. Hi.
Hi, Keith with FamilyFather.com. It's a new blog I started at the last Megacon, actually, and a lot of it has to do with being a fan of Star Wars, Star Trek, and things like this event that I bring my family to a lot. They're actually going to be here tomorrow. And I was wondering, you seem so much in first blush, a lot like your character a little bit. And you just mentioned you worked in a comic book store. Are you a total fanboy over something, whether it's sports or kittens or some star? Is there anybody that you would stop the interview to go take a selfie with right now?
Other actors, but outside of my own industry, board games. I'm a big fan of board games. Probably if I saw Martin Wallace, who's a board game designer. No? And you people call yourself nerds.
And I wanted to thank you guys for doing a show that the whole family still can watch.
Oh, thank you very much. It's great to hear that. People say that all the time. It's a show that they share with their family. It's an important part of their lives. And part of me is like, really? What? But I'm just, no. But I remember with my family, like I was saying, the show, the Multicam sitcoms that I watched with my family growing up. It is such a special part of people's lives. It's an honor to be a part of that for other people because I recognize it from my own family. So
it's basically you guys in Modern Family. Anything else we have to watch first?
Yeah.
So I'm getting the notice that we have about 5 minutes left. We're zipping along here. So I want to get through all of your questions, but let's keep it like really short, tight, so we can kind of get through all of you guys.
I think that note is more for me.
So over here.
Okay, so I decided to change my major to engineering because of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, awesome.
I did not realize how big of a nerd I really was. But I have a question. Since you do portray this nerdy type, did you realize like, wow, I really am the nerdy type, or did you like start liking nerdier girls and stuff like that?
No, I've always had a thing for nerdy girls. But I do like the fact that nerdy girls are being appreciated by the world at large these days. That's very cool.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello. So my question kind of has to deal with the comic book store thing. How much of like the DC and Marvel storyline do you as a person understand and understood before working on the show, and how much of it do you understand now? Like, do you understand that when you had that conversation with Sheldon about the Batman boards, that those things actually do exist on the internet and they're not like something that the creators made up?
Right. I think I'm more of, me and Will Wheaton are really the only like real nerds, I would say. So I don't follow comics as much as I used to when I worked at a comic book store and I knew everything. Now, actually, most of my, like the new comics that I discover and stuff are on set because they generally, bring new stuff to the set and new toys and stuff like that. I love it. It's one of the best parts of the job is checking out all the new stuff. That said, the stuff in the comic book store is only DC because Warner Brothers produces the show. Warner Brothers owns DC, so the comic books, they'll talk about Marvel stuff. But anytime they actually show a comic or something, it's DC. Does that answer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, do you have any funny stories about what happens behind the scenes, like pranks and so forth?
That's a long question for no time left.
Okay, just quickly, one time, backstage, it's really dark on tape nights, and they had duck. They were serving duck, grilled duck, and I served myself some grilled duck, and I went up to my dressing room, and I only had a small lamp on, and I'm cutting into it. Sorry, any vegans that are here. And it was really hard, and I was like, I couldn't cut it, and I was like trying to like bite it off like a piece of jerky or something. I couldn't even bite it, and I was like, what the hell? And I like put it, I'm looking at it, it looks all weird, and I hold it under the lamp, and it's all icky and sinewy and like stuff, and I realized that I am looking what I thought was like a wing or something. I'm looking...
Penis?
into the neck, the head of the duck, and I had been gnawing on the beak. Which is actually a lot easier to do when you don't know that's what you're doing.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, real quickly.
Hi, okay, so on the show, Stewart used to own a comic book shop, so I was wondering for you as a person, if you could own any kind of shop, what would it be?
Board games.
Okay, weird question. I know Leonard and Sheldon's mom were on Roseanne. Is there ever like an inside joke when the actors are like off camera between them?
Oh yeah, well, and Chuck Lorre, also the guy that created Big Bang, wrote on Roseanne, and it's the same wardrobe supervisor, and a lot of the Roseanne people are involved in Big Bang. But yeah, everyone from Roseanne, they're all really good friends, and yeah, everyone on the set, it really is, as cliche as it sounds, it really is like a tight-knit family, everybody gets along. There's like, it's miraculous, really. It's the only job that I've had where I mean, it really is, I think, just a matter of chance that there are no prima donnas and no jerks and everybody gets along and it's just like a laugh fest when, you know, working on the show. And I just cite that to just pure luck.
Cool.
Thank you.
And finally, sir, yes.
Yeah, sorry it's a little off topic. I'm a big fan of your work on Big Bang, but I also am a big fan of Weeds, so what was that like for you, being in a few episodes of that?
Oh, that's right, it's in a couple of it's so different, having to wake up super early to go shoot on location. It makes you really appreciate working on a soundstage. But yeah, it was all really cool people, and was that the one with the raccoons? Was there a scene in there with was that the one?
I can't help you here.
Yeah, and there was a guy blowing smoke in the raccoon cages. That was frightening because they had raccoons, and right before, like moments before working with the raccoons, the raccoon handler was like, they're a little sketchy today, so be careful because, you know, and they've got these raccoons, they've got these huge books.
Yeah.
So now, you know, generated a new phobia.
Just think if there were raccoons in hot tubs. On that note, this gentleman will be sticking around for the con, so go see him, get photo ops, autographs, and all that good stuff. Tampa, thank you so much, and please give it up for Mr.
You're the best.